What is up, guys? Welcome back. Finally going for a ride today. I've been so busy doing work on other people's bikes and working on my dad's bike and everything else. So we're taking out the 2001 R1. Take a look at this bike. This thing is like showroom condition. I drove all the way to Ohio to get this thing, and it was worth the time. It's a beautiful machine and it runs great. We do have kind of like a custom exhaust on this thing. That is a slip-on from an S1000RR, and that is a titanium link pipe. So we're going to take this thing for a quick little ride, enjoy it. I haven't rode this thing in a while. I did start it up already. It's already warmed up. But we are going to go for a ride. I am so pumped to actually take this thing out. Oh, man. Do need to get some gas. Purring like a kitten, guys. Alright, so first things first, I do got to get some gas. The gas light turned on, so I'm going to get some gas, fill this thing up. Last time I took it out, I probably put like at least 92 miles or something on this thing. I was out for a pretty decent amount of time, so, and it was mostly all back roads that I took. So I'm pretty excited to take this thing out. It's been a bit. I should have checked the tire pressure, to be honest with you, but I think it's good. It feels fine. So, and I kind of checked it with my hand quickly and pressed against the tire, and it felt fine. These bikes are really fun. If you guys have never rode a 98 to 2003 Yamaha R1 that's in good running condition, definitely suggest it. These things have a bunch of good low-end torque. They're light and they're just fun overall bikes. They do have some pretty plush suspension, but the fun factor on these bikes are awesome, and they're really not too expensive either. I was actually working on a buddy's R1 which had a spark issue, and it seems that the problem was the CDI was bad. We did a bunch of testing on a lot of the components, and it turned out to be the CDI. He got one off eBay for a good price. He actually lucked out because usually they're pretty expensive. And yeah, it seems to be getting sparks, so we're gonna throw that thing back together. The bike that he got was definitely a project, but should be good to go now, I would think. So my bike has around a little over 30,000 miles for sure. It's definitely around 32 or something like that. Pretty close to 32,000 miles, but the bike runs in tip-top shape. So these bikes are very comfortable. They have a nice big cushion seat, and the trunk space, let's talk about that. In the tail, right? In the tail section, you have a lot of space compared to any of the newer bikes. Like, for a sport bike like this, I've never seen any other bikes, maybe the older ones, but it has a ton of trunk space. You could fit like 4 waters in there easily, no problem. I don't know if you guys heard that, but the car in front of me actually beeped at the person that's in front of them because they're not even doing the speed limit right now, which is kind of crazy. Oh, they're pissed. That's great. Oh man, that's too funny. But I'm gonna get some gas in this thing. I always try to keep a full tank in this just because the gas tanks on these bikes are metal, so over time, if they don't have, they could end up rusting out. Oh, that's great. Wow, that person in front does not give a fuck. They really don't. That is too funny. Yeah, see my gas light's on. I gotta get gas. So. Yeah, but these bikes with a properly working X-up, these things have a ton of low end grunt. Some people say that they don't really notice a loss in low end when you either wire the X up open or they just delete it all in general with a full exhaust. But the bike does have good low end to begin with, so I don't think they really realize it. I can't really make an accurate statement on that, but I do know that the X up is working properly in this bike, and it would have showed a tachometer code on here. So pretty pumped to ride this thing. I got my Öhlins damper. These bikes sometimes need it. They do get a little bit of head shake, and that's why I got that. And I got my phone mount here. It was kind of like a little custom rigging setup that I did. And I got a phone charger. It is hot as hell today. It is hot as balls. It's probably 92 right now or something like that. And I think we are expected to get some thunderstorms, so I'm gonna go for a quick ride before it ends up pouring down on me. I'll get some gas first, and then we'll just hit some back roads, not too far, because if I do get caught, I'm not trying to get soaked for an hour. I'm not even wearing gloves today because it's freaking so hot. Tank looks pristine, which is great. Gotta check the inside over here. Yep, we are good. Alright, let me fill up this puppy. Alright, so we put about 3.3 gallons in there. She was definitely low, but look at how beautiful this machine looks. Absolutely amazing. Mint condition, there's like no scratches. Little custom setup going on. Still got the OEM blinkers and all that stuff, OEM fairings, and all the decals. Beautiful example of a proper 5JJ model. And also the key bearer is not worn out. On a lot of bikes, sometimes you have to pull it back a little bit. This is the OEM ignition, it's not aftermarket. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, we got basically 31,723 miles. All right, let's go for a quick little highway burst just to wring this thing out a little bit. Clean out the cobwebs, and then I'll hit some back roads. I love how this bike is so mechanical. It's not electronic like all the newer bikes now with all the electronic throttle valves and all that. It's just straight up carburetor and motor. Beautiful thing. And the carburation on these bikes, when it's dialed in and it's all where it's supposed to be and synced and everything, amazing. Just as good as any of the fuel injection. There's no doubt. A lot of people don't like them because of the fact that sometimes they let their bike sit for too long without starting it, and then the carbs get clogged and they don't know how to clean it maybe. But I have no complaints about this carburation on this bike. Absolutely amazing. Yamaha, props to you for a great job on doing that. And this is just a great overall fun bike to ride around. Alright, let's go do a little ripper. Open her out, get the cobwebs out. Let's do that quick. Yeah, but even like third gear at like 3,000 RPMs, you hit it and the thing just jumps forward. It's got all that good low end to it. Where some of the newer bikes, I can't really say that, so. I did have a little bit of a stumble when I gave it full throttle. I think one of the jets was a tiny bit clogged, and then it just unclogged as the gas pushed through it. But it just goes to show you that if you have a carbureted bike, you do need to at least start it often and ride it if possible, because these things can get clogged up. I've never had an issue like this on this bike before, but obviously it just showed a second ago when I pinned it, and it kind of clogged for a second just because those jets were a little bit clogged. So I'll probably put a little bit of seafoam in here at some point, but honestly probably just riding it will take care of it. So so we are on some back roads right now. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more shady out, because I am dying. I'm sweating bullets today. So obviously, compared to the new modern leader bikes today, these are underpowered, some would say. But for the roads and the way that the power delivery is, these things are perfectly fine. I mean, they rip on the highway pretty good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a ZX-10 or a Beamer or something like that, you know what I mean? They don't have that power that these newer bikes have, but, you know, then again, it is like, those newer bikes do have another good 60 horsepower, give or take. So, it's a give and take, but the thing about these things is that they're very road friendly. Suspension super plush, feels really good. They soak up all the bumps, no problem. And the low end on this thing feels great, so it's a very fun bike to ride on the, you know, the back roads, and they're not bad on the highway either, like I said. We're gonna have another person that does not do the speed limit. I don't know if you live there or not. Nope. Well, that is fine. So we're just doing a little loop around here right now, but these bikes are super fun. I gotta say, these bikes are great. Definitely one of the more bulletproof models of the R1, I would say. I mean, I've seen a 2003 with over 100,000 miles, original motor and everything. So that definitely says a testament to these things. And something that I love about these bikes is that they have the old school Corvette basically lights on the back, the two round ones. I like that. It's definitely something that you don't seem to see nowadays. It's definitely it's not common. You don't really see it, and you get people like that don't pay attention. And the bike lifts up pretty easily. But I love the suspension for the road. Super plush, super nice. Overall, great bikes, no doubt. I would definitely recommend a steering stabilizer if you're going to be doing some hard riding on these things. Just because the steering is light, and when you're ripping on it, the front end does seem to lift up. And it can surprise you a little bit, especially with the suspension being plush. So just be a little careful, and that's why we have the steering stabilizer. Yeah, what a fun overall bike. I could ride this bike for a long time, no doubt. Yeah, guys, so I've just been so busy with work and everything else, with working on people's bikes, trying to help them out, and just, you know, everyday normal life with the wife and everything. You gotta find a balance between everything, you know. This road is paved, but it's not like, I don't know, I feel like they like screwed up on it. It's not right. So honestly, I'm probably going to own this bike for the rest of my life. I have no intentions of getting rid of it. Nothing at all. Like I said, even owning a brand new BMW, which is like, so to speak, top of the line, one of the great bikes out there, right? Obviously other people have different opinions, but compared to all those bikes, like, this thing is still, it looks great still for it's a 2001, so it's a 22-year-old bike right now, and it still looks great for its age. It was way ahead of its time when it came out, and the whole overall package was just amazing, especially for the year. So Yamaha killed it. I think they did a really good job. It was just an overall really fun bike. I can't say that enough. It doesn't really make too much vibration like some of the other bikes. It has good low end, and it's, you know, it's decent on the highway. It's not anything crazy like newer bikes, but this is more of a road focused bike that's so of a, you know, so-called like maybe a little bit of a super sport, if you want to say that, but you know, it's a sport, you know, it's a sport bike, so obviously it's going to have that. But yeah, tons of low end, super fun, nice and grunny. And the bikes are pretty easy to work on nowadays. Some sections are kind of tight, but that's how it is on any bike, just due to the fact that it's a motorcycle. So, like I said, overall, still very happy with this machine. Super glad that I got it when I did. Got it for a great price that you can't even touch a bike in this quality and condition for the price that I got it for. There's no way. You cannot get that anymore. Prices are through the roof. People are out of their minds. They think that a bike without original fairings and has dents in the gas tank, aftermarket, it's all painted, it's trash in my opinion. And people wanted like $5 grand plus for them. It's crazy. I remember I was actually talking to some guy, because I was actually messaging him about a 2005 R1, and he didn't have the fairings. He said he lost them or something, which I find to believe bullshit, if you want to put it in words like that. I think it was complete bullshit that he lost his fairings. He probably laid it down and scratched them or something. But because how the heck do you lose fairings? And, like, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I lost them. Really? I'll tell you one thing, I know that if I owned that bike and I'm moving somewhere or something, I would definitely not be losing the fairings. That's number one. You're just a stoonot if you're doing that. So anyway, yeah, I was thinking about getting it, and the guy just wouldn't budge on the price, and I was just like, dude, no way. There's no way I'm going to be the amount that he was asking for a bike that was missing OEM fairings, because they're like $500 a pop. So it is what it is. You can't always get a great deal. Some people just don't want to budge, but not for nothing. I sold a 2000 R1 with all OEM fairings. Went through the whole bike, great shape. I didn't charge that much for it. I charged what it was worth, but you know, unfortunately, people nowadays are just overpricing stuff because they think that it's the right thing to do because everything else is high. Well, maybe if you stop doing that, maybe people realize that stuff is not always worth what it's priced now, especially vehicles and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, so I have not done a blog in a while, like I said. Actually, I haven't gone riding in a while either. So this feels great to be out. I'm super comfortable right now. I'm having a ton of fun, just cruising some back roads, enjoying this thing. So hot out today, man. I literally have my windscreen down so that you can hear the audio pretty good, but I'm sweating. So this is all for you guys. Hope we get to enjoy a little bit. Anybody who likes these type of bikes. I think it's gonna rain, to be honest with you. It's starting to feel a little different in temperature, like temperature drop. So I think it's gonna start raining. I gotta get out of here soon. I gotta get back home, or at least start heading back home. And this car just totally killed this turn. It's a decent turn that you can take at decent speeds, but you gotta love traffic, right? And there's a lot of shit in the roads I'm seeing. I don't have a suit on, which I should be wearing one, but I don't. This is way too hot out. I'd be freaking dying. Thank you. It rained over here. It's a little wet, and it feels actually damp and cold over here. It's either rained already or it's going to rain. So I think I'm gonna end this video pretty soon, just because I feel like I'm gonna get torrential downpouring, and the video's probably going on long enough now where it's maybe getting a little boring. But just make sure you guys are safe out there when you're driving, especially on back roads. There's a ton of people that don't pay attention, and they pull out of nowhere. There's always hidden driveways, so obviously have some fun, but just be careful because people do not pay attention. So shout out to you guys if you made it this far into the video. I highly appreciate all you guys subscribing, liking, and viewing the videos. It's definitely appreciated. It gives me motivation to keep making them. So thanks guys for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video. Alright, a little bonus video. Let's do a nice little walk around of this beautiful machine. If you made it this far, you get to see it. A lot of people won't, so let's just get a good look and walk around of this beautiful machine. And I haven't really even cleaned it up yet, but it's shining. It's looking insane. Ooh, man. Looks like it's looking beautiful. We have our little titanium link pipe. You can see it's starting to blue a little bit, but it's hard to really get the titanium to go all the way up to the silencer like that. So, but just look at this thing. Pristine. Yeah, Acro slip-on, titanium link pipe. All OEM panels, OEM graphics. Rims have original paint on them. Everything's all original. Except for I changed out these chrome bar ends with the R1 logo, if you can see that. And it matches that logo perfectly. I haven't been able to find these for a while. I think I found them on eBay years ago, but super nice. Ooh-wee, look at this beautiful bike. I love it. I love these tank decals too. They just flow with the color scheme. So nice. And of course we have our Olin stamper with a Graves mounting kit and a custom kind of setup with the ram mount. We have that over here and fits perfectly, and I can see my speedometer. So, all right, cool. Start this thing up real quick. She runs like a beaut. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.